Welcome to Sister Sessions, a podcast where two sisters on very different journeys explore what it means to live spiritually in today's world. My sister, Jenny Fairbank, is the co-founder and spiritual director of Wisdom Pathways, a yoga and meditation teacher, and a somatic healer devoted to guiding others toward inner peace. And I'm Susie Gustin, a mom of three, producer and owner of Red City Live Entertainment, embracing life's joys while searching for deeper meaning. Together, we have honest, relatable conversations about finding balance, purpose, and connection in everyday life. So, settle in. You're exactly where you need to be. Welcome to Sister Sessions. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sister Sessions Season 2. I'm Susie Gustin with my sister and co-host, Jenny Fairbank.
Hello, sister. How are you?
I'm in my new studio
Woo
in a
woo.
mystery location. For those of you that are just listening and not viewing this, there is a graffiti brick wall that I built in my studio behind me.
Fantastic.
And Jenny is actually not in her new studio for episode 1. She is remote. You want to tell them where you are, Jenny?
Yes, I took a road trip to Wimberley, Texas from California with my dog, Molly. We came for a wedding and I'm staying to work for a couple weeks, and then I'm holding a retreat here in Wimberley at Ruby Retreats, April 24th through 27th. So very excited about that. So I'm right now at my girlfriend's house and just working for the week and preparing for the retreat, and very excited to be here in this beautiful place. Yeah, it's been great.
Awesome. So we took a little break from Sister Sessions after we wrapped up season 1, which was so much fun. And we took little trips. Jenny went to, where did you go? Tell them where you went.
San Diego, I went for my own private retreat with two of my girlfriends to rejuvenate, relax, meditate, be in nature, hug some trees, quite literally, sleep and eat nourishing food, and just really being away from, my life is pretty awesome, and I know yours is as well, but like a different environment, and actually really allowing myself to be nurtured, which is typically not my MO. I am the nurturer. So allowing myself to be nurtured by my girls was wonderful, really. And being seen and heard instead of always seeing and hearing others.
Oh, yeah, that's so important. Oh, that's so good. You must feel so good.
I really do. I feel so loved by so many people, and even just being here in Wimberley and in Austin, like I'm overwhelmed by the love that has been pouring into me, and I've been pouring out with all my friends here. And, your friends are like they're your second family. They're a different part of you, and you know, actually Yogananda talks about friendship as being one of the highest form of love, because there are no obligations. You are choosing to be a part of this person's life. There's no familial ties, no necessity of it. It is pure choice. And I can see that. Friendship is so powerful and important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And I took a trip with not my whole family. Layla was on her spring break in Miami doing her own fun thing, which was so great that we all went at the same time because she was away enjoying herself at the same time that Reed and the boys and I went to Florida to visit their grandma there and her friend, and they hosted us, and it was lovely. I did come back a little physically wounded, if you will. I got bit up. I had the best times. It's hard to complain because I truly lived in the moment and had so much fun, but I definitely was experiencing several bites all over my body from these no-see-um bugs that are happening at this season in Florida. and they really liked me. I was a good home for them. And so it took me over a week to come back and heal from just that, plus a sinus infection and a sunburn, and maybe perhaps the time of month wasn't optimal either for me. So I was kind of going through it physically, but I was still happy to be there and experiencing, like you said, a different environment. And being with, Reed's mom was so lovely. We don't get to see her all the time. So I definitely put it out of my head and stayed present with it and through it.
That is such a perfect segue to our topic today. Choosing happiness, right? Being in the and being happy now,
Yeah,
despite
really.
what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Will you excuse me for a second while I take a sip from my sister Sessions coffee mug?
Gosh, you're so weird. Sister.
Yours is coming in the mail.
Yes, I'm just not at home to receive it yet, but
Yes,
it's
when you're in
wonderful.
your new studio with your new coffee mug. And of course, Jenny's is white, mine's black.
Yes. And isn't it interesting that I'm wearing black and you're wearing white? Because I actually this is the only piece of clothing that I have that is not white, I'm pretty sure.
You know what? Now that you say that, I felt I felt something different. You never wear black.
I don't.
And instantly, when I saw you, you had this like bold look that you don't normally have with the red glasses and the black. You look beautiful. You look beautiful in every color. But I'm just saying, I wasn't accustomed to this look, and so there was something, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And I was like, at first, I thought I had just glasses, and I was like, no, I've seen those glasses. It's the color.
Well, I'll tell you why. This is the only dress I have that's black. It is extremely comfortable. And I am, out of my home environment and I'm living out of suitcases. This was what I needed to wear today for several reasons. And my clear glasses broke. So I love these, but
I love them.
I like my clear ones a little bit more frequently. I wear those. So I'm I'm out of my element in all ways, right? I'm not at my house. I'm not wearing my regular color. I'm not wearing my normal glasses. And you know what? I'm super happy.
Yes. Yes. So that's our topic today is how to be happy now, not waiting for the moment that has fireworks. All the firework moments, the end of this, like people say, waiting for the lover, waiting for the job, waiting for the promotion, for the trip, for the wedding day, instead of enjoying planning the wedding. Like all of that stuff. Talking about how to be happy now. All right, Jenny, I'm going to let
Yes.
you lead this off. Go.
Well, there's so much to say to this, but first, that happiness is always a choice and it is not a destination. It's not the when, it is the now. And I understand that there is and always will be on this planet big challenges that we face because this is the nature of this planet. It is a school. We are here to experience, to learn, and to be challenged. We are not here for ease and comfort. We're here to expand our consciousness. That's the work here. It's all about consciousness. Consciousness is the reality. So when we learn and understand what we're here to do, then we can see beyond this dream that we are in and look at everything as opportunity. And so when we start to choose happiness, no matter what is happening, then we elevate our vibration, and then we can actually see more clearly and deal with the issues at hand more quickly. We can solve problems faster when we're in that place of I wouldn't even say happiness necessarily as even neutral. Let's even go with being neutral, not being in the heavier energy of fear and anger and suffering, because suffering is a choice. Everybody knows that term, the phrase, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional, right? And if you don't know that, that's a very common phrase that we use. And we use that for a reason because there's truth to it. This world can give us painful experiences, right? We can have a lot of difficulty, and there is a lot of difficulty. And we're not here to negate that and say, oh, just, forget that, suppress your pain, and let's, the toxic positivity story. No, no, no. You have to honor where you are, but don't live in those places of fear and anger and worry. And, those places cause us to perpetuate more of that, right? What we think, what is then what we become. So, do you want to experience pain and fear? No. Suffering? No. Nobody does. But we get in those places, and sometimes we have a hard time getting out of them because it takes a lot of energy and effort to move beyond that frequency, especially when you get in it for a while and you get into that spiral. So we have to learn how to accept what is. Acceptance of what is the way to happiness, right? Because when we accept and we see, okay, and I'm not saying that you have to like it. That's different. Acceptance and liking it. We're not talking about likes and dislikes. We're talking about seeing things clearly and saying, okay, this is happening. I don't love it. I don't like it. However, it's happening. And if I can accept it, it actually opens the door to more joy because it raises your frequency. You see?
Yeah, I know we've touched on this briefly before, and I remember saying that, I definitely teach the kids that happiness is a choice. And I know when we touched on it briefly, I believe that you were talking about some more extreme cases of people that maybe have, you know, bigger issues going on with being able to just say that this is a choice, and maybe some mental things happening. So I'm just talking now about the average person. I really believe that the average person has a choice every day to say, I am going to choose happiness today, and make a conscious effort to do that. And if you put those practices in everything you do every day, just stay aware. You're going to mess up, but if you can keep yourself aware, I definitely believe that you can create a better life for yourself and less suffering.
100%.
Yeah.
Our perception is our reality, right? And if we are feeling, let's go with the opposite of happiness, grief, fear, sadness. If you are feeling really sad and perpetuating that sadness, then you are going to see everything as sad because our consciousness reflects our outer world. Our inner world reflects our outer world. We're mirrors. And again, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel all those things. Work with yourself in real time to move those energies out. And how you do that is being really self-aware, to acknowledge, I'm feeling really sad today. Wow, why am I feeling sad today? Is there a reason? What is happening? Where am I feeling sad in my body? I feel it in my belly. My belly feels really upset today. I'm having, a pain or a tightness or energy moving in my stomach, and I'm feeling really heavy. Okay, let me sit with that for a moment and experience it and acknowledge it. And then using the breath as a beautiful way to release, you can move that out through the breath and through choosing to think differently. What can I do about this sadness? Do I need to have a conversation with someone? Do I need to go and do something fun? Do I need to, take a nap? Like, what is going to help me to release this? And honor yourself and listen and do what you need. But if you don't pay attention to yourself and you're not self-aware, then you don't even, number one, maybe recognize you're even feeling sad. And then you're taking it out on other people, and your behavior shows up in that way. And then, you're perpetuating this negative energy and only harming yourself and everyone else around you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah. So the practice of moving that energy out is quite simple. You sit, like I said, you close your eyes and you go into your physical body. Where am I feeling this? A somatic practice of just looking at where my energy is being stored. Where do I feel something in my body that's not normal, not regular? And then you acknowledge it and you talk to it a little bit. This isn't weird. This is real. Energy is real, right? We're living in fields. It's all we are. So you acknowledge it, you feel it, and then you say, okay, is it time? Can I let this go? Can I release this? And if you're ready to say yes, then all you do is imagine yourself moving that energy up and out with your exhale. So you breathe in really big in the belly and feel that energy moving up. And as you exhale through your mouth, you imagine you're releasing that sadness. We're just using that as an example, right? So you breathe in and you feel it, you acknowledge it. I see you, I feel you, I know you're here, and I'm ready to let you go. Exhale it out. And you do that for as long as you need to. It might take you 2 minutes. It might take you 10 minutes. You might have to come back to it over and over again during the day because that wave might come up again and again. But you can work with it in real time and directly and move it out. So as soon as you feel that release, after you breathe out several times, as long as you need to, and you feel a shift, you pause and you feel a shift. Do I feel different in my body? Does that energy feel different? Did I let go? And if the answer is yes, then you want to consciously fill up your body with a different vibration. What do you want to feel? Let's go with happiness. Right? I want to feel happy. I want to feel joy. Okay. Now you consciously breathe in joy or happiness as you inhale. So you imagine as you inhale, you breathe in and you feel that energy of joy, happiness coming into the top of the head. And as you exhale, you're moving it down and you're filling up specifically the area where you are storing the sadness. Say it's in the belly, right? So you imagine as you exhale, that energy is filling up that whole part of your body. And you continue to do that until you start to really, really, truly feel it.
Yeah.
Powerful and simple.
Yeah. So is that, if you want to change your vibe, if you're not vibing on the right frequency, what is something that you do besides something even more simple?
Okay, even more simple. Yeah, even more simple. It might sound silly, but say you're feeling really sad and you want to feel happy. Get up and start jumping up and down. Yeah. Get up and go for a walk outside. Get up and shake it off. Animals are really intelligent, right? And whenever they go through a traumatic experience, what do? Do you guys ever know? Do you ever think about it or see it? When they're done with their traumatic experience, they literally shake. They literally shake it off their nervous system. They shake. Yeah. And that's what we can do. Is we're also animals, right? We are consciousness just like they are. We're more evolved than they are, but we can shake it off, literally. You can quite literally do that. So that's a simple way. Another really simple way is look at what story you're telling yourself. What is the thought in the story you're telling yourself? If you're feeling, we're going to stick with sad, right? Sad. Oh man, nothing ever goes right for me.
Oh, the mantras.
Oh, I'm so this, and oh, my life sucks, and oh, I don't know what to do, and oh man, it always happens this way. Oh, here we go again.
And nobody understands.
Nobody understands how hard I have it. My life is la la la. Negative Nelly, right? What is the story you're telling yourself? So connect with yourself. What am I thinking right now? I'm thinking how life sucks, how everything's going wrong, the world's falling apart, everybody's blah, 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 fill in the blank, right? Pay attention. Okay, there's your story. What do you want to think about? What do you want? What right now in this moment is good in your life? What right now can you bring in that is not sadness, but actually happiness? Okay, well, but my dog is really happy right now. I just fed my dog and she's really happy, for example, right?
Yeah.
Or my kids are really doing well in school. Or my wife is really happy, or she loves her job, or I love my job, or whatever it is. I had a great breakfast this morning. It can be the simplest thing. What is good? And focus your attention there. And then, of course, gratitude is totally a gateway
Yeah,
that shifts
I
your
definitely
energy.
use that for sure, for sure, for sure. My two go-tos to change my vibe that always work are music
Yes.
and saying what I'm thankful for to myself. Being like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for blah, 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 blah. Those two things bring me right back to a happy reality. Yeah.
It is that simple, honestly. Our frequency, it's just like tuning into a radio station. And you have to get it just right to hear it clearly, but you have to work on getting it just right. I know, those of you who are older like us who actually used a radio when we had to tune in, you're in the car and if it's off, it's staticky and you can't really hear it clearly. So you have to tune in clearly. We need to tune ourselves clearly to the frequency in which we want to experience. We have choice. We are not just products of our environment. We are our environment. We create our environment. So start creating what you want to experience and don't just let this world throw you around like a rag doll. Because we can do that. And then this is where suffering happens and ensues, right? We suffer when we don't take responsibility for our own frequency.
Yeah, and it is about now, right now in this moment. And it's like, people say, oh, that like, what are some of the really stupid things that make you happy that shouldn't? Like, for example, this coffee mug makes me so happy. It's so dumb. But like, I love it. And I love pretty cocktail napkins. Like, I get so weird and joyful around stupid little things like that. Like, what are some things for you?
But Suze, I'll tell you, I want to just tell you that's not stupid. And it's not shouldn't. It's not, none of these things are stupid or I shouldn't or they're dumb. Don't even say that. I don't even want you to talk like that, girl. Like, no. We are the little things in life are what matter.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, what brings me so much joy is to watch my dog run and play. Yeah. Is to watch her prance and like, oh my gosh, I just love it. She's like my little girl, right? My little daughter. And that brings me a lot of joy. When I see people smile, I feel joy.
Yeah.
I have been, since I've been here, which has only been I got here Thursday afternoon. Today's Tuesday. I have been feeling so much love and joy. It has been off the charts and overwhelming.
I knew that you were going to have an amazing, like, this is your first time back. Like, I knew these people were just going to swarm you with love. Like, there was no question about it because they love you so much. And it's such a beautiful community that you created there. And they will always be there. And their arms will always be open to you. And that just makes me so happy. Like, I knew this was going to be so great for you. And then going from that retreat in San Diego to this, girl, your year is going to be like just the highest frequency vibrating. Like, who knows what's going to happen?
I'm telling you, I know it, Susan. I have to tell you, it is already happening. The property and the stuff, like there is stuff going on that I am just flowing in bliss. And this is again, and despite, here we go, like despite what is going on in our world, because we can't change it.
Oh yeah.
And we can do our part, and our part is going to be different for everyone. Everyone's part is going to be different, but do something.
Yeah.
Even the simplest thing is what we're talking about today is being happy now is your part, because you are adding to the collective. You are not in your bubble all by yourself, right? We have a collective energy. What do you want to add? Do you want to add fear and sadness and worry to the collective energy? Or do you want to add joy and peace and love and the high frequencies? This is very important. And the truth. This is not any woo-woo crazy stuff. This is the reality of our universe. We are an energy universe. Let's all just agree to this. We know it. Scientifically, we know it. So let's contribute to it in the highest possible way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am vibing really super high to the place where it's almost overwhelming.
And to all the listeners, You can too. You can too. This is not, like Jenny said, it's not a magic pill that Jenny swallowed and all of a sudden it's about the work, putting in the work every day, no matter how small it is, no matter what insignificance you think it may be, but it is. It's making the right choices. It's saying, you know what? I'm going to call my grandma today and say hi to her because I haven't talked to her and it would make her smile. And she says, why are you calling? Do you need something? No, I'm just calling to say I love you. I hope you have a great day. Just that will change your day.
1000%.
And it will definitely change the other person's. So now you have passed it on. You're feeling great? Pass it on. Pass it on. Pass that shit on. Honestly. Because people think nothing, subconsciously think nothing of passing on their anger because they'll snap at people or cut someone off in traffic or, you're sharing it there. And then you're making that person mad. And then now they're going to go pass that on, not thinking about it. They're like, oh, this guy just cut me off in traffic and then it's going to pass. So don't be that passer on. Pass on the good shit. Tell people kind things. Call your grandma you haven't talked to for no reason, just to wish her a good day.
Yeah. Yeah, comes to the first thing as you're saying that I thought about Mama, our past grandmother, and the song that she loved, one of the songs she loved, and that when I hear it I cry, which I haven't heard it in a while, but Stevie Wonder. I just called, and I can't sing, but to say I love you. She loved that, and that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Do it. And I'll tell you that story that I told you that happened to me. Was it Thursday night? So the first night that I arrived.
Oh, that was Thursday. Yep.
So I arrived here Thursday afternoon, and I lived in Wimberley for 6 years. Lived in Austin before that for 9 years. So I'm, obviously know this place. And I went to the local grocery store here called HEB, and somehow, well, I know how, but long story, I'm not going to go into the whole story. It's way too long. But I went there to fill up some water because we have well here and the water, we need filtered water. Went to fill up this water, and at the side of the store, they have a big machine to fill up water. So I was filling up water and I had a bag strapped around me and it was open and I dropped something and all my content fell out, and I picked it up, put it in my bag, off I went. Well, I went to a girlfriend's house for dinner that night. And before that, I had a client call and I couldn't find my earbuds. And I was like, that's weird. I swear they were in this bag, but maybe I put them in another bag. Traveling, you have all kind of bags. So I just let it go. Went to dinner. After dinner, I was talking to my husband on the phone, checking in. And I said, I can't find my earbuds. It's so weird. I thought they were my bag. And so he pulls out the tracker somehow. I don't even know how he does this. He was like, well, I'm looking at where they are, and they're actually in the HEB parking lot. And I was like, oh, right. I dropped my bag. My bag was open. All the things fell out. How could I not have seen that on the ground? That's so bizarre. Okay. So I said, I'm turning around. Going back to the store because I need these earbuds. I use them every day, and I'm going to find them because they're there clearly. So it's 10:30 at night. There are lights, obviously. The store is open till 11, so there was still a little bit of action going on, not much. I'm searching, and you know how you can plug in your phone and say, okay, I'm going to connect to my device on my phone. So I'm walking around, and Dave's on the phone with me, my husband, and he's like, okay, yeah, did you connect? I'm like, actually, it's connected, so they're here, but I can't see them. Where are they? Like, I'm looking everywhere on the ground. Then I go where the machine is. There's a space between the machine and the ground, and I see them under there. They're under the machine, and I can't reach them. As soon as I see them, this young man pulls up right in the parks right in front of me, and his motorcycle gets off, and he's like so eager to help me. He goes, what's going on? Can I help you? Can I help you? And I was like, well, my earbuds dropped, and they're all strewn because there's 3 pieces, right? Both sides and the little case. They're under there, but I can't reach them. And he's like, I'll get under there for you. He has this big jacket on. He's this young kid, pulls them out, hands them to me. And his face is beaming because he's helping someone. Talk about spreading joy, right? And I give him this big hug. We're hugging. I'm like, thank you so much. You saved the day. I'm so appreciative. That was awesome. He's like, yeah, you're welcome. I'm happy to help. And he goes like off, all happy to go. And I'm thinking, yes, here it is, spreading the light.
Yeah,
right?
wherever
Because
he went, he took that.
Bingo. He walked in the grocery store. I guarantee he was spreading that light all across whoever he came to, in contact with, the grocery people and all the things. And I was in heaven. And I was so happy that happened because we could spread some light.
Yeah.
Do you see? We can call it a lemon into lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I could have been upset. I could have been like, oh no, I have choice. I wasn't upset at all. In fact, Dave and I were laughing like, this is hilarious. I'm in the HEB parking lot at 10:30 at night trying to find earbuds and connect to this device. And I don't know, it's just funny. We don't have to take life so seriously. And we certainly don't have to get upset if we don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
The simplest things can be the greatest joy.
Mm-hmm.
And what we might want to consider as difficult or unfortunate or terrible or whatever, we can turn that around and laugh and be lighthearted and see that it's all just this game of light and shadow, and all are opportunities to learn. So I had an opportunity there and I had a choice. And I took the choice of being lighthearted and fun about it. And I took the choice of spreading joy and gratitude. And this kid took the choice of helping me and of being kind and gracious. And he felt joy for helping me. So I got to receive, which is my word for 2025. Remember, I said, my word for this year, I only set an intention for a word, is to receive. To receive in all different kinds of ways, but most importantly, to receive the energy of the divine, to be in tune with the divine spirit, and to see everything as that, because we are all divine. Yeah. So that's my story. And then I told it Friday morning when I was interviewed on the podcast.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, spreading the joy. One of my things, they always tell married couples or couples in general, just couples, that don't go to bed angry, right? Well, I definitely have that. But outside of that, I have a similar thing that I've always had with the kids. I do not let them go to school with any negative last words or anything. It's really important that I send them into that building where the last thing that I say to them is, I love you so much. Have a great day. Duke and Layla will tell you, in all through grade school, which I started, they're like, laugh because I'm doing Zane now. It was for their younger years. The two mantra that I always said was, be kind to your friends and helpful to your teacher. Kind to your friend, and I say it every single day to them for school. But I believe in doing that because then when they get in the classroom, they are going to spread that energy too. You don't want you to, reprimand your kids. That's the last thing they hear from you, and they go off into the classroom and they're like, and then that energy is in that small room and they feel heavy, and then the next Timmy next to them feels heavy, and it's like, no, lift them up and send them off. Try to do that, parents. It's really, I think that's a good one, man. I really, really do.
It is, Susie. Yeah, you do a good job with that. You're very positive with those kids. They're very positive because of you. And it is absolutely powerful. And I love that. Be kind to your friends and help your teachers.
So when Zane says, I wasn't listening, and I said, do you think that was helpful to your teacher? No, because she had to then go out of her way to stop teaching, to ask you to listen. That's not being helpful to your teacher. It's not being kind to your friends either, and so I'll put scenarios together why, okay, well, that wasn't being kind and helpful. So we have to think now,
Yes, very good. Good points. All you mamas out there and daddies, do what Susie says, because that is very powerful.
I won't always
tell you to do what Susie says, but yes.
I'll take this one. This is a win. Oh my
That's
God.
very good. Very true.
Yeah.
And joy is a higher vibration even than happiness. And even higher vibration than joy is bliss. And bliss and joy and happiness, but really, truly bliss, let's go to the highest,
Yeah.
is our true nature. This is who we really are underneath all of the stuff, all the blocks in our consciousness. And it is the best way to be aligned with the divine, because that is what is always being pulled. There's an inner battle that we're all going through, right? There is the battle of the ego versus the true self. And the ego is the attachment we have to this world and this life and who we think we are in these bodies. And when we are really attached to, say, all kinds of things, right? Pick anything, attached to anything, whatever it is, our jobs, our looks, our bodies, our experience, our femininity, our masculine, whatever. It is pulling you down to then can cause suffering, because if it's not the way we think it should be, then we suffer, right? If we are feeling like, well, I'm getting wrinkles and this is terrible and now I'm really upset. Come on, right? How many bodies have you had? And I have to just say that because I really want all of us to accept. This goes back to accept what is, right? Accept aging, accept that we don't live forever, accept that this is a very short life and that we can and need to experience it to the fullest and not allow ourselves to be dragged down by things that we can't control. We can't control I know that you might say, yeah, we can control the aging process, but no, we are all going to die. And death is actually it's a beautiful transition and not at all the end. It's just like you're just turning to the next chapter of your soul's long journey. So I know that kind of isn't necessarily the topic of today, but it is something that I find to be extremely important.
Yeah.
Be in your innate joy that lives inside of you and the bliss that's in there. And to find that, I know is not necessarily easy, but the way to it.
It's not a destination. It's the presence. It's right now. Happiness is not a destination. It's not, I'll be happy when, and I would be happier if I didn't have these wrinkles. I'll be happy when my house finally sells. We know you won't. Like, if you have to say that and you're looking for your happiness in something like that, you won't. I guarantee it. Try me. You will not. I'll be happy when I graduate. No, you won't. Because if you aren't happy now, you don't know what it is. Because you're not finding it in the right place. Got to go inside. Got to go inward. Ironically, the community that I live in, there is a Facebook page that is all of the moms in the community that I live in. A lot of people. I do not know a lot of these. I don't know any of them. Like, really. But I'm sure a lot of them do. Most of them know each other, whatever. So there was, and you can post anonymous if you want, so no one knows who is doing it. And someone today posted, I swear to you, I don't ever put in my 2 cents. I just don't feel comfortable. But boy, I wanted to. She said, can you tell me if you are, I hear people say that they wake up all the time feeling great. I do not. Please tell me anything. What is your secret? So the answers start flooding in, and there's like, well, I take these supplements. Well, I go for a walk. And I just wanted to be like, it's a choice. It's a practice. And she needs an energy audit. What are you doing? Like you said, what are you saying to yourself? When you wake up in the morning, are you saying, God, I wish I was happy? I wish so much that she could just have a conversation with you for 15 minutes to change her thought process, because it made me sad. Like, I didn't feel judgy of her. I felt like I wanted to connect with her so badly to say, no, your supplements aren't going to help you. I promise. Like, All those things, if you're doing the right work inward and you're taking your vitamin, those things make you feel like, okay, I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking a walk. It's good for my health. Sure, that stuff is going to keep you vibrating high. However, this comes from inside. And I feel bad for her. Like it makes me sad that she feels so strongly about it that she actually reached out to the community and said, somebody help me. Like I can't feel good when I wake up in the morning.
Why didn't you say anything?
I don't know. I just feel like it's not my business.
Yeah, it is. She's asking people, so it is. Why is it not your business and anyone else's?
Yeah, I don't know.
She's asking your opinion. It's not like you're inserting yourself. She's asking. And you have something positive to say. If you feel bad about it, first of all, there's no need to feel bad about it. Because feeling bad is feeling pity for somebody, and everybody has their own story and their own journey.
Right.
So we want to feel compassion. Right? Feel compassion is different than feeling bad.
Yes. Okay.
So
yeah.
those words are important, right? That nuance
is very
is important. If you're feeling that compassion, then why not share?
Yeah.
That's how you help her, Susie. You have the answer. And really, the answer is meditation. The answer is always meditation. Let's just be real. We get down to the bottom of it, and how you change your perspective, how you change the inside is, yes, as you said, go inward. How do you go inward? You meditate.
Yeah.
How do you meditate? And there are lots of ways to meditate. There are lots of ways that work in meditation. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't meditating than they think they are. So as you know, we've talked about this a lot. And I am so, as you know, passionate about the practice of meditation because it changes your consciousness, expands your awareness, and that's the name of this game, people. That is the name of the game and this planet and us being human. We are here to remember who and what we truly are, which is not this body. We are having this experience because we choose to, because we have work to do. We have service. We need to be of service to this world in any ways that we can, by being a mom, by being a janitor, by being a CEO, by being a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, whatever you are, whatever you do. And it doesn't have to, it's not even your calling or terms of your work or your job. It's opening the door for somebody. It's smiling at somebody. It's being kind. It's being loving. That is being of service. Mm-hmm. And in everything we do in life, if we look at it as being of service, and you are me and I am you, and so why wouldn't I love you because I love me? And if you don't love yourself, we need to talk. Because you need to start with yourself. You have to love yourself first. And part of learning how to love yourself is seriously meditation. Mm-hmm. That is the way to expand your awareness. And it doesn't have to be some long practice. I mean, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it every time if I have to. 10 minutes. That's it. You're going to want to do more naturally, but minimum 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And that will change everything. So that woman, go back, Susie, and say something.
Yeah. Okay, I will.
And I think link to meditation.
Yeah. I think too is, being happy now is the practice of like being awake to your life, like being understanding, like doing an audit of your own life and saying, okay, if I'm not, what am I doing? What are my habits? What is bringing me down? Where can I do work? Being awake to your life, not just floating by and sleeping. Like, don't be a sleeper on yourself and on your life. Wake up to your own life and your feelings. And I like to lay on the ground, flat on the ground. I don't know why, but when I lay flat on the ground, I just feel like I can feel my whole body. I can listen to myself when I'm doing that. There's something about laying on the ground for me. And strangely, I've had that for years. So it's really, I love doing my sit-ups because I start with that. I lay flat on the ground, I stretch fully, take a big deep breath, and then I just stop and listen to myself and listen to my body and feel what's happening. And believe it or not, the last book that I read of Deepak Chopra, I can't think of the name of it right now, but he actually mentioned that laying on the ground is a way to like, you can actually like tune in. And I'm like, wait a minute, I do that. It's really freaking true. Like if something's hurting, for some reason you're just laying there and you can like notice things a little bit stronger. It's interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
part of the practice I do with when I do Phoenix Rising yoga therapy with clients is, they lay on the ground, they lay flat on their back, and we could do a body scan to see what's happening, depending on what's going on with the client specifically. But that's one of the practices that can be part of it. And it is very, especially when somebody's witnessing you, it is very powerful. And our bodies are so magical and intelligent and are always talking to us if we just listen.
Yeah.
And it's never just physical. When people say, "Oh, my hip hurts," so well, there's something deeper going on there. What's going on with you emotionally, mentally? You're storing something there. There's nothing that's just physical. We are a conglomeration of all of it, and our soul is talking to us through our bodies. It's very powerful.
Oh yeah, I actually heard Lewis Howes, who does the School of Greatness podcast, which I am a giant super fan of his podcast. He's wonderful guests. It's excellent. And he was explaining his story to a guest about he had suffered a lot of like issues with his like dental issues, like jaw issues. He had these surgeries, things didn't go right. I don't remember exactly, but he suffered a lot of pain. And he also had suffering as a child. Okay. A lot of things that he had to get through and work through. And his now wife, he was going through all this pain, and his now wife told him to do this practice. And she was like, no, I literally want you to go in the bathroom and do it right now. She was like, look in the mirror and talk to yourself. Tell yourself that you forgive yourself for everything, that you love yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. This like this mirror practice that she believes in.
Yeah.
And she's like, go. And he was in there for a while and he did it. He said, I swear to God, he goes, I have full body chills telling this story. My pain went away.
Yeah.
My pain went away.
Yeah. Of course. This is the thing. Our minds are everything. Our minds, our thoughts create our reality. That is not a platitude. That is a reality. We need to get a hold of the stories we're telling ourselves and what we are thinking on a daily basis. We are creating our reality by our thoughts. You can believe it or don't believe it. It is true. And you can try it out for yourself. Exactly. Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. It's hard to believe, right? I mean, no. I understand that it's not hard for you to believe. However, it is hard for people to believe that.
Unless if they have the experience, because belief only, there's belief and then there's faith. And faith comes through experience. So go and experience it yourself. Just start to tell yourself something different. And if you don't believe it, and you can't just say these things and be like, yeah. Blah. You like not believe it on some level. And what I mean by that is take it really into your body and embody it. And number one is that you have to feel it. I teach affirmations all the time on a daily basis with people. And I craft affirmations for individuals based on what they're experiencing, what they need to shift in their subconscious patterning. And affirmations are extremely powerful if you do it correctly. It's not just standing in there and going, I am beautiful, I am awesome, I am this, I am that. Right. No. You've got to go inward and feel it. And then you become it. So I actually have an affirmation I'd like to share with everybody today to actually start to, and it's kind of a long one. And what you want with affirmation is there has to be a part of it that you do really believe, like a hook like, if this is true, then this must be true, even though this other part, I'm not really sure yet if I believe it, but this is true. So therefore this has to be true. There's a whole art to it, but the biggest and most important part of it is that you have to bring in a feeling that is connected to it, because that's how it really penetrates into your super conscious. So you want to bring it into the subconscious because it's the program, right, that you are. It's like your computer, inside of you. So you want to program it in there. And then you want to take it to the highest level, which is your super conscious, and start to deepen that within your whole being. So practicing affirmation, you want to close your eyes and you first typically say it out loud. And we're not going to repeat this a whole bunch of times because it's too much, but I'll say it for you and we can repeat it internally. But the way you practice affirmation is out loud really strongly. Then you soften it as you repeat it again. And you soften it into a whisper again. And then you only say it mentally. And then you say it mentally again. And you let it go inward, and you feel it as if it's already done. And you do that over and over. Like I have clients who have been working with the same affirmation for years. And they see the results. You can't just flip it and change it and do it. You want to work with one to really get it in there. Now everybody's different, right? Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I got it and I'm living it and I'm in it and doesn't take that long. Some are longer and harder than others depending on your programming, right? It's all a unique thing. So you want to practice this one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So close your eyes wherever you are, unless if you're driving. Close your eyes, and with your eyes closed, just take a nice big breath. And as you exhale, come into the present moment here and now. And with the eyes closed, gently lift the inner gaze to the point between the eyebrows, raising your consciousness. And only in your mind, mentally repeat after me. I am a radiant soul filled with divine joy. In this moment, I choose happiness, not because of outward things, but because it is my birthright and my true nature. Joy lives within me, ever now, everlasting. Right here, right now, I am joy. I am free. Now we're going to do that one more time. And I want you to imagine joy filling up every cell of your body. Feel joy in the heart. And if an image of joy comes to you, let it come and see that image of joy. And with this joy filling every cell of your being and the image in your mind, we'll repeat again. I am a radiant soul filled with divine joy. In this moment, I choose happiness, not because of outward things, but because it is my birthright and my true nature. Joy lives within me, ever now, everlasting. Right here, right now. I am joy. I am free. Take a deep, slow inhale, filling the belly all the way up to the top. And a very slow, long exhale all the way down to the bottom. Feeling joy, feeling free. Open your eyes when you're ready.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, so you can, choose something that works for you in terms of affirmation. It's really important that it's positive, of course, that it's in the present moment and it's already done. Like it's now. It's not I will or I could or in the future. It's now. So you speak it as if it's already done. I am. And some people do it in other ways. You can say I will in terms of I will with your willpower, not I will as in future. I feel, you can say, different things, but this is a basic start.
Great.
Yeah. So affirming is really powerful. And if you did that, for example, when you first wake up in the morning before you do anything else and you just start affirming over and over again, what you choose, we have choice. And remember, the thoughts create our reality.
Yes. Yes. Be happy now.
So if you guys and listening have any thoughts or questions, please share with us. And if you need any support, we are here for you. Go to wisdompathways.life, go to jennyfairbank.com, leave comments in the things. We are here to support you. This is, part of our work. So don't hesitate to reach out. It's okay if you don't feel well. It's okay if you're sad. It's okay if you feel angry. You can work with it. You don't have to stay that way.
Awesome. Very awesome. I'm super excited. I think that starting off with Being Happy Now, season 2, was a great way to start. And we have some very exciting guests coming up, which follow us on Sister Sessions Instagram for all of the updates and the reveals. We're excited, and share us with your friends. Leave us comments. We love to hear from you. We're grateful for each and every one of you to share this experience with. We're having so much fun just talking about all the good stuff about life together. And we'll see you next week.
Yes, all is well.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Sister Sessions podcast. If you found inspiration in today's conversation, we'd love it if you shared the episode with your besties, family, or even your favorite neighbors. We'll be back next week with more to share, but until then, remember, meditation is the key to unlocking your inner peace. All is well, friends. See you soon.